Guys, I am going to cut to the chase. I am in my little test save because we have had the update that we have been waiting for. We have had the soil update. No idea how it's going to go, but I have seen a little bit of what it looks like on the pictures. And the reason why I'm in my test save is because basically I don't want to actually mess up any of my actual things. So, first things first, see what it is like with an excavator. Seen a couple of things, heard a couple of rumours, and there's a bit of uncertainty. It's meant to be easier to dig and less of a headache on the physics engine. Ooh, one problem. So obviously, as you can see on the tip of the bucket, we've got something, but we also got rid of quite a little bit of area. So if we put this on the hopper, what's going to happen? Not the hopper, sorry, on there. Ooh, so okay, visually we get more out than what we sort of put in, if you like. So if I don't throw this excavator off the cliff, we'll hopefully see again. So if I go somewhere over here, look. So yeah, again, when it comes to excavating, we're not actually seeing what we're scooping up. I don't know if that's a full bucket, a half-empty bucket, such like. So that could be quite an interesting one. But when it comes to tipping out, obviously, whee, goes everywhere. We do get some tip out. How does it look when it falls? We'll never know. When the dirt falls out, it still falls in its clumps. Fine, fair enough, that is what it is. We can kind of live with that, I guess. We'll go for the Dozer next, because apparently this has changed a little bit. And obviously we are currently in cut, so we are looking to cut. Ooh, builds up at the front. Interesting. And obviously this is just the beta so far. So it's going to get stress tested. That visually, that looks really nice. That looks so much better. Oh, this should be cut. Ooh, okay, so I'm a little bit confused what's happening here. I no longer have a right click on my mouse to change from cut to carry, but I have it on the control and the shift that I never had before. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here now, because I have this big chunk of ore right in front of us and oh, no idea what to do about it really. We don't need the ore lock anymore because it kind of does its own thing, but how do I get rid of this big lump on front? No idea. I'm also not able to drive forwards here. Maybe stuck somewhat. That's interesting. Okay, so if we're here, can we tip this in any way, shape or form? No. We seem to have a big chunk of dirt stuck. Is there anything that we are missing in the controls? No. See, this tilt in or out, this was something for me that never worked until this update. Tilt left and right, ripper. Yeah, okay, so there's nothing in there about how we get rid of any sort of rubbish out the front. So that's interesting so far. Not too sure what we're doing there then. Not too sure what we're doing there at all. I can't get rid of it. I can't get it off the bucket. Oh, I can if I go all the way down. Fair enough. I need to go a long way down for it to come out though. Interesting. So if I'm in flat land, how easy is that to do anything about? kind of doesn't want to come off at all. So if I drive backwards, it still picks it up. So that'll be carry, that'll be cut, and yeah, I can't get this off. So I don't know how that's going to work if we're trying to do like slopes and stuff. You'd want to kind of back it out and sort of lay it down, maybe, I don't know. So that one at the minute's a bit tricky. Even with it fully down, it still doesn't drop anywhere. Interesting. So regardless, it seems like you're carrying some muck somewhere, no matter what you want to do. It does seem like it works nicer when it is trying to do what it's trying to do, though. It's just unfortunate that, well, as you see, we don't get rid of it very easy. Until, you know, you're in a big hole. If you're in a big hole, yeah, it gets rid of it pretty well. So that is the Dozer. Bit of a tricky one. Front end loader. Hopefully this is going to be a lot better. What we'll do here is we'll scoop some up, and we'll also put it into the rock truck just to see what it's like. Now, if it looks like that in the Dozer, I'm hoping it's going to look pretty cool on the front end loader as well. Ooh. So maybe the representation isn't quite accurate for what it is. Going to be a little bit tricky trying to get this right, so visuals might need tweaking ever so slightly so that it kind of makes a little bit of sense, maybe. Because at the minute it's just that build up there at the front. And that's basically okay. So visually, yeah, it kind of builds up on the front lines. How can I show you this if I use this? So visually, as I'm digging, it's kind of building up from the teeth up towards the top of the bucket. You kind of want it to fill in backwards so it fills up the bucket before it looks round. But okay, visually, yeah, it's okay. A little bit of a tweak here and there, maybe, if that's something that can happen. I don't know. How does it look like in the rock truck, though? Gonna be a tricky one. So we're over the top of the truck, sort of. There's a little bit of visuals there. Look, you see the dirt poking out the back of the bucket. So if we tip, because I haven't got my oar lock on. Ooh, okay. I was not expecting that. That's different. It is floating a little bit. There we go. So just hovering a little bit on top of stuff. I didn't expect it to stack up like that. I'm just going to try and fill this up. See what it comes out like. Different, that's for sure. Definitely is different. Seems to behave slightly different when you dig it out of the wall as well. And then if we're over the truck and we slightly tip in, oh, that's nicer in the rock truck, you know. Definitely a lot nicer in the rock truck. need to be able to get more of a sheer cut on it as well. That's interesting. Visually, I'm liking the visuals of it all when it's all stacked in. Personally, I'd like to see it filling up the buckets a bit better, and when we tip it out, you know, it just turns to all these boulders and stuff. No. Ooh, okay. That's interesting. So we don't actually know how full this is. So I'm just going to keep going until it doesn't look like it can empty the bucket anymore. See where we get to. Little bit of a tweak needed there. But yes, you don't need the ore lock anymore, which is good. And hopefully, we're being told that it should stop like clumps appearing in the hoppers and stuff. We'll see what happens there. So the rock truck isn't actually getting any more added to it. There's no more visuals piling up or anything like that. So we are going to be able to fill the rock truck a lot more. This is only an AT20 or whatever they call it. It's literally the very first rock truck. And this is a 500 front loader. So you would think, well, by now it should be overflowing, be fully loaded. So it's good to see that we're getting quite a lot more ore in there. Now, whether or not that'll be how much comes out, that'll be interesting. I'll just truck this in, and then I'll free up my sell point, and we'll go dump it in the sell point. So we'll try this one bucket here first. Yeah, so I don't know how many that is, but that's more than what you'd fit in there normally. I will just scoop one more bucket load and put it into the hopper. So I don't know if I'm actually getting more dirt by doing this, or if it's just distorting. Because you know, before when you had a full bucket, if you carried on trying to do stuff, you'd see it all fall onto the floor. So you'd understand where your soil and your ore was going. When it's like that, and you're just distorting everything, you're getting no visual of where it's all going when you've got a full bucket. Not so good, I guess, when it goes into the hopper. How are we looking? So it doesn't stay as clumped for as long, it doesn't seem. Now we don't need the ore lock on this, so this will be cool. I do like this visual in the rock truck a lot better, I must admit. And what's it like when we... Yeah, this is a 20, so... You'd hope that... Well, 500 bucket would have filled this really quick before. So, we're over the pay station. Handbrake's on, and we're just going to chuck that all in there. We've got a big lump stuck in the back. What was that last set? It was 15 tons exactly, despite the fact that we've got a lot more in here. Oh, still tipping some, okay. So there is a slight issue with when you've got a full rock truck, you have to up and down it so that it'll actually load in. And that got us another 27 tons. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So that's just a quick look. There's obviously some tweaks with it. The developer, Christian, has said, look, it's still in development. There's a lot that's changed. So there's a lot of stuff going on. It's not expecting it to be perfect. It's letting us all see what it's all about. I'm on the dev branch, so if you want this new soil, that's where it's at. But yeah, I'm liking the direction that it's going. Obviously for me, like I say, this obviously needs some sort of tweaking, because you're just not seeing it. If we're in the bucket, you're not seeing it going in or anything until you're sort of there, and then it's like, ooh, okay, cool. So you have to scoop a lot to get it in. Other than that, there's little areas, like I say, if I then go and mash the world up with this full bucket looking thing, you don't know what's happening to all this dirt that we're just kind of scraping around with. So it'd be nice to have some sort of something to say, okay, the dirt's getting piled up, the dirt's getting messed around, where is it going? No one knows. You don't know if you're filling or emptying when you drag it, stuff like this. Little tweaks, but when it's sitting in the bucket like this, when it's sitting in the lorry, when it's sitting in the front end loader, liking it. Dozer definitely needs a little bit of work. You just can't seem to empty it off the dozing panel board plate thing until I'm over a big hole, but I'm liking the direction it's going for sure. New soil, kind of cool. Hey, these guys, see you in a bit. Bye.